episode of Stoke Meter. And we are honored to have Rodney Smith Jr. with us this morning. What an amazing guy. Rodney, how you doing, man?
I'm doing right, fellas. How about yourself? It's a beautiful day here.
We're doing good, but man, you're already off and running. I'm looking at your van and you have some lawnmowers back there, the whole bit. It's a beautiful sight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, for those of you that might not know Rodney, this man is making an amazing difference. He runs an organization called Raising Men and Women Lawn Care Service. Now, lawn care services, when I remember doing lawns when I was younger, heck, I just did mine the other day, and it's no right, it's no easy task, but you do it with a very special twist. And I'm just wondering if you wouldn't mind telling us what you folks are all about.
Yeah, so we're a small nonprofit based in Huntsville, Alabama, and we have kids nationwide that are taking part in our program that we call the 50-yard challenge. And the whole organization, we mow free lawn for the elderly, disabled, single parents, and veterans. And that's what entails in our 50-yard challenge. Kids, wherever they are in the United States or even worldwide, they can go out and mow 50 free lawns in their community for the elderly, disabled, single parents, veterans, and even first responders and active duty military. And if they do this, they accept the challenge. They make a sign saying, "I accept the 50-yard challenge." And in return, we send them a white Raising Men or Raising Women's t-shirt along with safety glasses and ear protection. Every 10 lawns they mow, they got a new color t-shirt. So it's like the karate system. So they start with a white t-shirt, then once they mow 10, they get an orange. Once they mow 30, a blue. 30 of blue. 20 is a green, 30 is a blue, 40 is red, and 50 is black. And once they reach 50, I drive to them and present them a brand new mower, weed eater, and blower for completing this 50-yard challenge.
So you actually go to them and do that? Yeah. You have them in all 50 states, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize it was to that extent. That just blows my mind. Well,
how did you get this going, Rodney?
Yeah,
that was like dying over here. Like, this is such a great idea and it's so impactful. I have to say, I came across a picture. I can't remember what social media feed it was, and it was you with an elderly lady, and apparently she was kind of being shaken down by some people to do her yard and that type of stuff. I don't think people understand what a big deal it is that you're doing, not even just for the kids, but man, what a win-win for the people that you guys are helping out too. How did they get started, man? Take us back.
Yeah, so back in 2015, I was in college at the time, my senior year of college, and I was leaving school one day and I came across this elderly man outside mowing his lawn and it looked like he was struggling. So I pulled over and helped him out. And then I just decided I'll start mowing free lawns for the elderly, disabled, single parents, and veterans in Huntsville, Alabama. With me being in college in senior year, I thought I could mow 40 lawns by the end of winter. So I challenged myself to mow 40 free lawns, but I mowed 40 free lawns so quick that I might go to 100. Then a month and a half later, I reached my 100th lawn. And that's when, the idea of the organization came about, and it's been officially founded since January 2016.
Wow. And I know there's so many things that are truly inspirational. I'm just wondering, what are some of the feelings, I guess, that those that you've served have had? Just looking at the stories, you could tell the impact on the kids, but how about the people that they're serving?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to them because, in a lot of cities, I'm not sure if you guys know, I know this happens in Texas in some parts. There are people that go around and measure your lawn, and if there's a certain height, they go with a measuring stick, there's a certain height, they find you and they give you these fines that you really can't afford. So when we could come mow for free, that now frees that person up and they can use the extra money for food and medication and stuff they really need. Because most of the people that we help, are mainly elderly, the veterans, and those fixed incomes. Yeah. So, having this free lawn care service, it frees them up and they can use their extra funds for things they really need.
And I'll take that a little step further, because I know you're politically dancing around the homeowners associations that are in American communities. But I don't know if people realize, but those fines can actually add up to the point that you can lose your house.
Yeah.
Like, there is a lot of power behind some of the, these HOA associations. I mean, there's some good intent, but they can also be taken and do some real harm. So I just want to kind of emphasize that, because I mean, you're not only helping them, avoid a small fine or something like that, you're also taking away the stress of potentially losing their property. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. I never really thought about that, but yeah, that's a good point. There are a lot of homeowners associations like that, they give you hefty fines, and already these people can't afford it, and then just build up and build up.
Wow, I never even looked at it from that slant. I think a lot of times people are inhibited from doing something like you're doing because they don't know if it's really going to have an impact. And this is a simple thing like mowing a lawn, but that simple thing is leading into some amazing chain of events that help everyone around. Just looking at the happiness that some of the folks that you folks have helped has been one of the highlights of the past week. I've been studying some of the things that you've been doing, and just I can't help but have the smile on my face, but also the youth that you have recruited and that have accepted the challenge. How many youth do you have now that are out there?
It's over 3,500 kids nationwide, and then you got kids.
3,500 kids nationwide.
3,500.
Oh my goodness. Okay, wait a minute. I got to do the math here. 3,500 kids. Okay. They've mowed 175,000 lawns, man.
Once they've done the challenge,
that's they all completed. So right now, that's how much we have in the program. And then they do it at their own pace. So there's some kids from like when we first started, or a few years after, that are still doing the challenge because they take their own time and life happens, and these kids get around by their parents. So when the parents have free time, they take them out and do these lawns. And then some kids, there's some kids that start, and then you never hear from them again because life happens. I mean,
right.
Life happens. You think everyone goes through something. So, but yeah, if all those kids finish, it'll be like 100,000 lawns mowed for free. And
that's so cool.
That is.
Hey, I have a question too. I just don't know if you've seen this or not, but it seems when you can connect generations to each other, there's some real cool things that can happen. Do you have a story or something that stands out where it's not just the benefit of mowing the lawn, but it's also getting a kid and connecting them to say an elderly person or a firefighter or someone else, where you've kind of seen what I call unintended benefits? Is there anything where you've seen that happen?
Just like this kid named Wesley, he lives in Michigan. Most of the people that he moves for are veterans, and he built those friendships with these veterans, and he gets to sit down and hear these stories that they went through firsthand, and he just built those strong relationships just from stopping by one day saying, I like to mow your lawn for free, and some of them even sadly have passed away, and and that really affected him.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, kids are meeting all types of people, and we require kids to go out and farm their lawns. I can't say, oh, go to Blackfoot, Idaho. We have someone. I mean, people reach out saying, oh, can you help? But we require kids to farm their own lawns because that gets them out there and speaking to their neighbors and meeting people they probably normally wouldn't have met. So I think that's another important thing as well.
Wow. The fact that you just said Blackfoot, Idaho made you this high on my hero list.
That's where you're from?
Yeah, no, that's on the other side of the state, but only a few people know about that. That's great.
We had a few kids in Blackfoot to finish. I mean, probably about 5 or 6 kids finished in Blackfoot.
Wow, that's amazing. No, well, so talking about generational impact, there's another thing too. How about family impact? You have a kid that wants to go do it, and obviously a number of them probably don't have cars or they can't even drive. How's that impacted families that
Well, I
get
mean,
involved?
you hear, oh, I got to spend a lot. First, a lot of people don't realize it takes a lot to, drive the kid. Like one parent yesterday said, it takes a lot. I didn't know it was gonna be this much. Got to drive them and take them to the lawn. It's a lot, but at the same time, you're hearing stories about grandparents taking their kids out. They're spending that quality time, excuse me, with their grandkids, excuse me, and probably time they probably normally wouldn't have had together.
Yeah, yeah, and that's amazing. It says you need some water there. Well, you're on the East Coast right there, but how many lawns have you already mowed today?
Oh, just two.
Just two. Oh, I love it. Well, and I understand that you also grew up in Bermuda, if I remember correctly, right? And what I loved about the story is that you saw there was only, I didn't realize there were only 56,000 people in Bermuda. It's something to that extent, right? And
6,000.
yeah, it was a very small population. I had no idea it was that small. And you had mentioned the impact that you had, that it had on you to see others in need, and you just helped them. There was no there was no ulterior motive, right? You just helped them.
Yeah.
When you started this campaign, what was it like when you first approached somebody and go, hey, can I mow your lawn? That's always an interesting thing. Like, what's your angle, man? What was that like?
At first, when you first started the organization, people didn't believe it was for free. So it took a little time to get people to understand it was for free.
Yeah.
But now just hit us up and never need the lawn mowed, so we don't have to go through that no more. But it's been a journey.
Yeah. What I love about what you're doing, and Gary, this is I'm looking at Gary over here because I love how you go straight to the point, man. It's great. There's no second guessing where you're going with this. I love it. Well, with that too, how many people have reached out to you to also help in the it is a nonprofit, and that's not an easy thing to maintain. But who are some of the people that have helped you along the journey here?
And it's been a few people, but like most recently, a gentleman by the name of Neil Hawk. He just started following me on Twitter one day, and just that one thing I realized, you never knew who's in the audience watching. And so he saw me about to go deliver some lawnmowers to a kid. And at that point, I had a small SUV. I just put my lawnmowers in, so it could fit about three lawnmowers in there, and weed eaters and blowers. And he just made a comment, "Oh, it looks like you need a bigger van or a bigger vehicle." I didn't think nothing of it. Said, yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then he said, "Okay, well, look, send me a message. I'm gonna look into it." Sent him a message. Okay, yeah, all right. And then we gave him a call or whatever, and I didn't expect to hear from him. He said, "Oh," next day he called me. "Yeah, so I got a buddy of mine. He got this 13-seater cargo van. You could take out the seats, and I could probably fit about 20, 15 lawnmowers in there. I'm gonna buy it today. It's about $29,000, and so you can just fly up to Missouri, just where he was at the time. Meet me at the airport. A few days later, I flew up to Missouri. Him and his wife met me at the airport with the brand new van, signed for the organization, and I just drove it home. So generous people just never know who's in the audience, and social media is a very powerful tool because people support you, and without their support, all this wouldn't be possible. So very grateful for Mr. Hawk and many others that just donate to the organization. And all the lawnmowers we give to the kids, they come from an Amazon wish list, and we have lawnmowers, weed eaters, and blowers on there. People can purchase. They ship to my house. I take them to a storage room, and every time a kid completes the 50-yard challenge, I load the van up. But it takes people to support it and to make it possible. So I'm very grateful for them.
I'm excited because, social media gets a bad rap these days for a lot of really good reasons, but it can also do a lot of good. And so that's why it's, I don't know, I'm so excited to see where, its forces are being used for good. You know what I mean? And it's really helping to expand what you're doing because, if you were trying to do this even 10, 15 years ago, it wouldn't even be possible. You wouldn't have the exposure.
Yeah, the exposure, the impact, contacting kids. I mean, you hear on the news, but by the time they contact you, that news story probably ran about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
Well, and even just the impact that simple photo had on me was significant. You know what I mean?
And that photo is from 2016, but it goes viral every year, and every year it goes viral. People reach out and support, and it goes probably viral a few times a year. And then once it goes viral, people see it, then people donate. So very grateful for that, because it's going viral. That's the first time I'm this year, just recently. But yeah, 2-3 times a year it goes viral.
It blows up. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
It is fantastic. Well, we talked about how many. Well, you're in all 50 states. How many countries are you in right now?
Just kids in 8 other different countries. So Canada, Bermuda, England, Australia, Germany, Japan, Sweden, South Africa. Somewhere else.
And it started in 20. What's blowing my mind? This just started in 2016. We've been around for over 10 years, man. It just the impact that you had in that short amount of time it just blows my mind. And again, when I look at how many people that you're affecting, not only the people being served, but it says, to your point, raising men and women lawn care service. You're helping raise another generation of people that are kids that are really going to make a great impact. Maybe it hasn't hit them yet, but accepting that challenge, just looking at some of the follow-up videos too of what these kids have done in relation to this it's really impactful, man.
It is.
Wow. So what do you see going into the future? I know that's a dorky question, but what does this look like in the next couple of years?
I just continue to grow the 50-yard challenge and eventually start chapters of the organization because it's a service needed everywhere. So start chapters, get adults involved eventually and just grow it,
Wow. And
get some government funding eventually, because if you get a government funding, you can do a lot more and you can reach out to more kids, stuff like that.
Okay. And what's the best way that others could get involved in starting chapters?
Oh, we don't have no chapters available right now, but in the near future, it's something that we want to do. And it's not just mowing. We also include raking leaves, snow shoveling, picking up trash. So it's a year-round thing, and kids can do whatever they please.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I never even thought about that. Yeah, it is only a seasonal thing that the lawns are going. So there's other people, you're doing other things like, I heard you saying about the trashing. What other things did they do throughout the year when the lawns aren't in full bloom?
Yeah, so they pick up trash. They can, when it snows, they can do that. Snow shoveling. They can rake leaves. So those are the other 3 things.
Oh man!
I have to ask Rodney. Part of what you're doing, I think, where the power lies, is that you're creating mentors for these kids, and you're also, we also know, we've seen through all of our additional podcasts, that the power of mentorship is incredible because it's not just a one-way street. Like both parties benefit from that relationship.
Yeah,
I have to kind of ask, who have you looked up to in your life? Who's your mentor? Who's made Rodney this guy that is like full force, 100 miles an hour, get stuff done? Because that doesn't happen on its own. I know that you had some you know, kind of where you were raised, how you were raised, but who are the people that made you who you are?
Well, you know, my parents, you know, there's many different mentors and teachers I met throughout my life. And another thing is I watch a lot of motivational videos, you know, like Eric Thomas, Inky Johnson, different guys on YouTube, Les Brown, and just listen to them, you know. Remember, just listen to some of the videos over and over, just instilling that, you know, that. But yeah, just listen to motivational videos. Sometimes it just gives you that, that thing you need just to keep going. They become very powerful and they will stick with you. Another guy, what's his name? Gary Vaynerchuk.
Oh, Vaynerchuk, yeah.
I mean, one time he said a quote so simple. Someone asked him something, Gary, what's the best advice? He says, these 5, one day you will die. That's all you need to hear. Man, it sounds crazy, but one day you will die. And sometimes I'll be laying in bed and like one day it's gonna be over. We can't do nothing more. Nothing more. One day you will die. That's all I need. Go on. Just go ahead and do it. Don't wait, just do it. One day you die. And it'll be over. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that you just brought up, we just interviewed another individual that left the NFL to start a farm. And he said that there's another it's a three-letter acronym, NFL. He said, not for long. and it goes right into what you're saying. And you're making a difference, such a difference on a day-to-day basis. The sense of purpose is amazing. And that's what really, when Gary first told me about you, I was very curious, and just I'm jealous because of that sense of purpose that you bring to the table, and you bring to the table of everyone else, and you make it fun too. There's a video of you racing this kid with a lawnmower, and you make it fun. And just it's a coach. I'm looking for ways to make it fun all the time, and you're making it fun in a way that makes it impactful. I can't thank you enough for that, man. Gosh. Yeah. But how can we help you?
Spread the word. I mean, that's the most important thing, because you just never know who might feel inspired by it and might want to help out in some way, you know. But yeah, just spread the word and encourage more kids. You know, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
So as far as getting the, you said you had like an Amazon.
Yeah. So on we have an Amazon wish list, and we have a Walmart wish list with just like the lawn equipment and safety glasses and stuff, and people can purchase, and they're sent to us. And yeah, so that's how we get the lawnmowers to the kids and stuff.
And that's under Raising Men and Women Lawn Care Service?
Yeah, so our website, weareraisingmen.com or raisingmenandwomen.com or weareraisingwomen.com. It all goes to the same link. And then on the donation page, there's different ways that people can donate and stuff like that.
Well, awesome. I'll make sure that ends up in the introduction of your podcast when it goes out, because this is I mean, when I think of the word noble, this is a very noble cause. You're raising the next generation of just amazing individuals, and just the way that you're doing it, they get, lack of a better word, they get stoked to get into this, right? Whether they complete all 50 yards or not, at least they're doing 1 or 2, and that's still impactful, man.
Well, and we've already touched on this so many times, but man, I just have to emphasize, it's just like you're hitting good from so many angles. Like I said, like the recipients benefit, the kids benefit, the parents benefit, the kids are going to lose skills or learn skills that they can take for the rest of their life. It's going to affect their kids. I mean, it's just amazing to me, like how many angles of positivity what you're doing hits on.
Yeah.
It's just awesome, man.
And that's one thing I like. Before this podcast earlier, I was thinking about purpose, you know, how I can, when I came across the elderly man, you know, imagine how many people who drove past. Oh, I wish I could help him. You know, I wish I could help him, but it just took me to pull over and help And that one small act of kindness will change my life forever. So while we all driving on this road called life every day, and something's gonna touch us and take us down our purpose path, you know. And for me, that was my purpose path, and it was the elderly man. And ever since then, that moment. So, but we all have that purpose. I mean, we're all here for a reason. It has to be a reason we're all here, and if we all can find that purpose for the greater good, you know. Yeah.
Well, I think it's also helping us get out of our own way in a lot of ways. Because I mean, in my lifetime, it was very normal for me to pull over and help someone change their tire. It was very easy for me to pull over and help them, you know, go get some gas or whatever. But it seems like in this day and age, everyone's afraid. Everyone's afraid to reach out. Everyone's afraid to help or pull over because I might get mugged, I might get shot, which, you know what I mean?
It's very different in this day and age. Is 10 years ago, 20 years, I mean, just different. And now so much going on, like last 2 years have been, coronavirus just changed the whole way we live. I mean, and just like that, just the whole life changed like that. Shut down the whole country. I mean, man, we never seen nothing like that. But yeah, the world is just different these days compared to a few years ago.
Yeah, so anything that we can do to bring ourselves together. I mean, we are a communal species, and the impact of bringing people together can't be minimized. So good on you, Rodney.
I gotta just say, Rodney, the things that you were just saying about the purpose path. I mean, Gary highlighted there's different fears and such of helping anyone right now, but the fact that you just did it, I think that just says it all, man. And it's an amazing thing that you do. So yeah, at any time that we can help, we will be more than happy to highlight anyone that you have, if they, you know, we just, especially out in Blackfoot, Idaho, and wherever they might be. But please feel free to use us as a medium to highlight those stories, man. All right. You're the man. What, I know you're a busy man. We don't want to keep you that long, but thank you for what you do. It's inspiring, and it's impactful across the long term. And so thank you.